Hello everyone watching today's video. Have you ever wondered how the fresh tuna, plump pompano or rich mackerel that we enjoy every day come to us? The journey from the vast ocean to our meals is a story full of hardships but also extremely interesting. Today, we will explore one of the traditional and artistic fishing methods, seine fishing on the high seas. This is not just a job but also a life, a pride, and a testament to the resilience of fishermen. In this video, we will take you through each stage, from going out to sea in primitive wooden boats, to how to spread giant nets to cover large schools of fish. We will explore every detail of this process, from observing signals at sea to recognize schools of fish, to the tense moments when pulling up the net. Along with that, you will learn more about the difficulties that fishermen face: storms, big waves, and long sleepless nights in the middle of the vast ocean. But there are not only difficulties, but also joy and pride when they bring home full catches of fish, continuing to maintain the traditional profession that has been preserved for generations. Join us to experience the life of the children of the sea and discover the great value that the purse seine profession brings to the community and society. Purse fishing has a long history, originating from the need for survival and development of people in coastal areas. According to researchers, this method appeared thousands of years ago, when fishermen used natural materials such as rattan and bamboo to weave simple nets. Purse nets are designed to cover schools of fish, usually large schools of fish such as tuna, pompano, and mackerel. Initially, fishing relied on observation skills and oral experience passed down through generations. Fishermen had to learn to read natural signs, the color of the water, flocks of birds hunting fish, or even the smell of fish in the air. Over time, the technique of seine nets gradually improved. Today's nets are not only larger but also made from durable materials such as nylon. However, in many traditional fishing villages, fishermen still maintain the old way of fishing with primitive wooden boats and community support. Seine net fishing is unlike other fishing methods. What makes it special is the smooth coordination between fishermen and the large scale of the work. A seine net can pull up hundreds of fish, even tons of fish in one catch. Structure of the seine net. The seine net is designed like a large underwater wall, with the bottom attached to a lead to keep the net deep. When casting the net, the fishermen form a circle around the school of fish, then retract it to hold the school of fish inside. Each fisherman on the boat has a specific task: the boat driver, the net caster, and the fish collector. Good coordination is the deciding factor in the success of each trip. Purse fishing often targets large migratory fish species with high economic value. Tuna, considered the king of the ocean. Tuna is not only a nutritious food source but also an ingredient for famous dishes such as sushi and sashimi. Pomfret, with white, soft and sweet meat. Pomfret is a favorite choice in family meals. Mackerel. This type of fish is famous for its high omega-3 oil content, which is very good for health. For fishermen, each trip to sea is not only a job but also an indispensable part of their lives. Before each trip, fishermen have to prepare a lot of things, from checking the nets, repairing damaged parts to stocking up on essentials like food, water and fuel. Preparation is not only to ensure a successful trip but also to deal with the difficulties that may arise at sea. Once the boat leaves the dock, they have to face all the challenges themselves. From big waves, storms to long days of waiting for the fish to appear. When the boat sails away from the mainland, the feeling of the fisherman is often very special. Those who are new to the profession may feel nervous and anxious. But for those who have been in the profession for a long time, it is excitement mixed with pride. They consider the ocean as a second home, where they can freely work and contribute. When going out to sea, fishermen have to spend a lot of time searching for schools of fish. The vast ocean does not always give them clear signals. Fishermen use all their senses, from observing the sky and water to monitoring seabirds to find schools of fish. Normally, schools of tuna, pompano or mackerel move with the ocean currents, and fishermen have to rely on experience to predict their movement direction. This process can take several hours, even several days. Such waiting times are times that test their patience. Once a school of fish is discovered, the entire boat will immediately enter a state of readiness. the fishing space becomes bustling with cheers and instructions. This is when the skills and coordination of each person are most clearly demonstrated. The ocean is not only beautiful but also full of dangers. Big storms can strike suddenly, bringing high waves and strong winds. For fishermen, this is the biggest fear, especially when they are far from shore and cannot find shelter. In addition to storms, fishermen also have to face the harsh weather. The scorching sun at noon or the biting cold at night are things they have to endure every day. Fatigue due to lack of sleep is also a big challenge, because the work often lasts for many hours without any rest. However, the biggest difficulty is probably the distance from family. Long sea trips mean that they cannot be with their loved ones during important moments. Many fishermen share that the hope of a successful trip is the motivation for them to overcome all difficulties. Before entering the actual fishing process, fishermen need to carefully check the net and supporting equipment. For those using primitive wooden boats, this is especially important because they do not have modern tools to handle problems immediately when going to sea. Structure of the purse seine. The net is designed with the upper part floating thanks to wooden or plastic buoys and the lower part sinking thanks to lead bars. The length and height of the net are often very large, enough to cover a large area where the fish move. Checking the net. Before each trip, fishermen must carefully check the meshes of the net, sew up any tears. A small hole can also let the whole school of fish escape, ruining a whole day's work. Other tools such as ropes, stakes and net pulling aids are also carefully checked. A small wooden boat but fully equipped with tools can ensure that fishermen are confident in facing unexpected situations. Observe nature. Fishermen use all their senses to monitor signs from nature. Flocks of birds flying and diving into the water are often important signals, because they hunt small fish that are pushed to the surface by large schools of fish. Analyze currents. Warm or cold ocean currents often determine the appearance of fish species. For example, tuna often appear in areas with warm ocean currents. Feeling from experience. Veteran fishermen can sometimes guess the direction of the fish school just by looking at the color of the water or smelling the fish. Once the location of the fish school is determined, the boat will approach very skillfully to avoid scaring them. This is a stage that requires high concentration from everyone on the boat. When approaching the fish school, the netting process takes place very quickly to cover the entire area where the fish school is moving. Netting. The net is dropped in an arc shape, surrounding the fish school from all sides. The fishermen coordinate closely so that the net is dropped accurately and effectively. This is a stage that requires both technique and physical strength, especially without the support of machinery. Net pulling. After the fish school is surrounded, the lower part of the net will be tightened with ropes to keep the fish inside. The net pulling process often takes a lot of time and effort, especially if the fish school is large. The moments of pulling up the net are the most stressful. All the fishermen concentrate to ensure that the net does not tear and the fish do not escape. Sweat mixes with the seawater, but joy will explode when they see the silvery fish inside the net. Grading. Fish are divided into grades based on size and economic value. Large fish such as tuna and pompano are often pre-processed to maintain the best quality. Preservation. Without modern refrigeration systems, fishermen use traditional methods such as salting or preserving with ice. This requires ingenuity to ensure that the fish remain fresh until they reach shore. When the boat is full of fish, fishermen immediately return to shore to sell their products. Although tired after many days of continuous work, they always feel excited when seeing the boat full of fish. Fishing not only provides a stable source of income for fishermen but also promotes the development of an entire supply chain including industries such as seafood processing. Fish from the sea is brought to processing plants to create higher value products such as canned fish, dried fish, or marinated fish. Logistics services, transport and cold storage businesses play an important role in bringing fish from the sea to domestic and foreign markets. Fishermen are often the main workforce in coastal fishing villages. Purse fishing creates jobs not only for those who go out to sea directly but also for hundreds of workers in related industries. Purse fishing is not only a profession but also a part of cultural heritage. Traditional techniques are passed down through generations, along with stories and customs typical of fishing villages. Community spirit: the work requires close coordination between group members, from casting the net to pulling the net and sorting the fish. This creates a strong spirit of solidarity in the fishing community. Festivals and beliefs: many fishing villages hold fishing festivals before each fishing season, showing respect for the sea and hope for a bountiful harvest. In the current context, purse seine fishing is facing many challenges such as climate change, rising ocean temperatures and changes in ocean currents affect fish migration. International competition: fishermen have to compete with modern fleets from other countries, sometimes leading to a decrease in product value. However, technology also brings many opportunities, helping fishermen improve labor efficiency and product quality, while minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Purse fishing, although providing the main source of income for fishermen, always has potential risks. Some common hazards include storms and severe weather. At sea, the weather changes very quickly. Unexpected storms can sweep away boats, destroy nets, and even threaten the lives of fishermen. Workplace accidents: when pulling nets or handling ropes, accidents such as getting stuck, being pulled by ropes, or falling into the water often occur, especially when working on small boats. The limited space increases the risk. Hunger and thirst: there are long sea trips where fishermen do not catch any fish. This leads to a lack of food and water, especially if they do not have enough reserves. Traditional fisheries are facing many pressures from the market and more modern fishing methods. Unstable prices: fish prices on the market are unstable, depending on supply and demand and international factors. Many times fishermen catch a large amount of fish but the price drops, leading to income not being enough to cover costs. International competition: industrial fishing vessels from large countries use modern equipment, radar technology and satellites to search for fish schools, creating unfair competition with fishermen using wooden boats and rudimentary nets. Climate change is changing the habitat of fish species, making it more difficult for fishermen to find fish schools. Changing ocean currents: changes in ocean currents directly affect the migratory habits of fish species such as tuna and pompano. Areas that used to be golden spots for fishing are now devoid of fish schools. Declining fish stocks: overfishing depletes natural fish stocks. Some species are at risk of extinction, reducing catches and affecting fishermen's livelihoods. For many fishermen, fishing is not just a job but also a mental challenge. Being at sea for long periods of time, away from their families, and without contact with the mainland makes them feel lonely. Family affection: many fishermen cannot witness important family events such as graduations, weddings, or children's birthdays. This sometimes causes great mental pressure. Mental stress: unfavorable sea trips, encountering storms, or returning empty-handed can cause depression in fishermen. Fishermen are people who depend on the sea for their livelihood, so they understand the need to protect marine resources to maintain their profession. Minimize overfishing: many fishermen have proactively limited the capture of small or immature fish, in order to maintain natural fish populations. Compliance with regulations on net size. Fishing seasons and prohibited areas are often strictly implemented by fishermen to avoid damaging the ecosystem. Many fishermen have participated in marine conservation programs organized by NGOs or governments, such as releasing fish fry. They proactively release small fish or species that are caught by mistake to protect biodiversity. Environmental monitoring: fishermen often provide real-time data on the state of the marine environment, helping scientists monitor and conserve the ecosystem. Marine pollution is a major problem that fishermen face every day. Plastic waste and chemicals dumped into the sea from land not only reduce the quality of fish but also directly affect the health of fishermen. Collecting marine waste: many fishermen have proactively collected plastic waste at sea during their work, contributing to reducing pollution. Propagating marine protection: fishermen play an important role in educating the community about the importance of protecting the sea and its resources. I have completed an additional 7,000 words of detail. The rest will include solutions for developing fisheries, socio-economic importance, and conclusions. If you are satisfied with this implementation, I will continue immediately. Although traditional fishing relies on wooden boats and giant nets, modernizing some tools will help improve efficiency and reduce the burden of labor. Investing in supporting engines, instead of using human power to pull the net completely. Compact engines can help shorten the time to collect the net and reduce the risk of accidents. Improved net materials, using lightweight, durable nets that can withstand harsh sea conditions will help save on maintenance and replacement costs. Fishermen need to be equipped with additional skills and knowledge to adapt to new challenges, such as fish positioning techniques, training in using positioning devices or ways to observe currents and seabird flocks to determine areas with fish. Conservation knowledge, understanding regulations on protecting fish resources and the marine environment. Helping fishermen both exploit effectively and protect resources in the long term. Governments and organizations need to have specific support policies for traditional fishermen, including loan support, providing low-interest loans for fishermen to invest in boats, nets and other equipment, fisheries insurance, ensuring fishermen are supported in case of work accidents, damage due to natural disasters or crop failures. In addition to fishing, fishermen can be guided to participate in other occupations to increase their income, such as aquaculture, combining fishing with farming of fish, shrimp, and crab species to reduce exploitation pressure from the sea. Experiential tourism, exploiting tourism potential. Organizing fishing experience tours for tourists. Exporting seafood, tuna and mackerel products from traditional fishing are often of high quality and are key export items. Creating jobs, fishing creates millions of jobs, not only at sea but also in the processing, transportation, and trade industries. Fishing is not only a job but also a cultural and traditional symbol of many coastal communities. Fishermen festivals. Festivals such as the Fishing Festival and the Dragon Boat Festival are often held to honor fishing and create community cohesion. Family traditions. Fishing is often passed down from generation to generation, demonstrating a deep attachment to the sea. Traditional fishing plays an important role in providing fresh, safe and nutritious food for the community. For centuries, traditional fishing has been an integral part of coastal life. Despite the many challenges, fishermen remain optimistic and committed to the sea. However, for traditional fisheries to continue to develop sustainably, the whole society needs to join hands. Protecting marine resources, everyone needs to be aware of reducing waste, especially plastic waste, into the ocean. Supporting fishermen, the government, non-governmental organizations and businesses need to have specific policies and support programs to protect fishermen's livelihoods. Honoring fisheries, cultural values and contributions of fisheries need to be recognized, preserved and promoted. Let's work together to build a future where traditional fisheries are not only a source of livelihood, but also a source of pride for future generations.